Hello, everyone, and welcome to the historical first ever episode of Actually I Can, which is my brand new podcast. I am Best Life by Brooke. Hi, hello, I know you, you know me. It's just we're already acquainted here. So this podcast, Actually I Can, is a little bit sassy. Isn't it? I thought it was sassy. And the reason why is because it's supposed to be sassy. I, as a woman in this world, even though it's 2020, which is a shitty year, let's just go straight to it's 2021, okay? Because it is. This year didn't exist. It didn't happen. But I've been told so many times, you can't do that. I don't know if it's because I'm the baby of the family or, because I'm a woman, because I'm young, but everything that I've ever tried to do, people have said, oh, you can't do that, or oh, you shouldn't do that. You don't have enough money, you don't have enough talent, you don't have enough experience, you don't have the patience, the determination, the connections. There have been so many things that I've wanted to do, and people have said, honey, you can't. And I said, actually, I can. And I have been through so much, especially in the last 4 or 5 years, when it comes to my mental health, my financial situation, my relationship. Oh my God, you guys, the ups and the downs that I've had in my life over the last 4 or 5 years have been insane. I mean, my whole life, everybody's life that has the ups and the downs, but mine, I've gone through some stuff, and if I can share any bit of wisdom, any bit of knowledge, any tips of how to help you become your own boss, start your own business, make income online, just stuff, sharing stories of things I've gone through in my relationship and with becoming a new mom. It's just, I would like to offer that if I can. I'm always wanting to help other women. I want to lift you up. I want to help you succeed in whatever it is you're trying to do. And I speak to women because I am a woman myself. So I am talking to all of you, but if I ever address you simply as women, that's why, because I know the female experience. So that's what I'm going to say. Those are the pronouns that I tend to use. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, something that you want to learn more about, hear more personal stories about my life, and hear me not try to whisper or give you the tingles, then check me out over there. I would really, really appreciate it. Even if you're not interested in it, if you could just go and subscribe, maybe give a video a like or something, that would be equally helpful, because until I reach certain milestones, I will not be able to monetize that channel. So if you go over there, help a girl out, I would really appreciate it. And it's good karma, it's good karma. What can I say? Tonight's beverage, Rooney Dooney of the night, is Synergy. I'm like scratching my nose subtly. Synergy raw kombucha in Pink Lady Apple. Like I said, this is a podcast specifically, so the visuals of this particular video will not be very appealing. As you can see, I'm just cozy on the couch. I've got a little blanket here. I've got my kombucha. My hair is unbrushed. I look hideous, but I'm here for you, just to talk to you, And I want you to feel absolutely welcome to come as you are. I know that I can't technically see you. I can't talk to you back and forth the way that I totally wish I could. I wish that this were a live stream, but right now I don't have the capabilities to do that. So at this time, I just want you to internally feel welcome to come as you are in this very moment, and know that what you are is enough, and that actually you can do anything that you put your mind to, and you are worthy to do anything that you put your mind to. So that being said, I've got all of those announcements out of the way. Top link in the description box, that will be the link to this new channel. I am going to upload this here, obviously, but it's also up over there right now as we speak. So feel free to head over there and watch it, and give it a like, and just just help a girl out, man. Just help a girl out, because I am about to help you out by answering your questions from my feet pics video. Ta-da, feet pics video. How to make big money selling pics of your feet. That video has about 50,000 views and a trillion questions in the comments. I wanted to answer the top questions, so I went through, I wrote them down, and I wrote down the most commonly asked questions. There are a lot of them here, so I'm just going to tell you my experience. What I say will not work for everyone. I live in America, dude. I live in America, and I don't know how other countries work. I got a lot of questions for, like, how do I sell pics in the UK? I live in England, and I don't know how taxes work. How do I do I don't know. I don't know either. I truly don't. I wish I did. I wish I were an expert, but I'm not. So I can only speak from my personal experience, and I hope that I can offer you some wisdom to get that coin, sis. So the main questions that I got that people wanted me to expand upon were tax questions. A little bit of a backstory. I have been doing fetish work for the last I would say the last 2 years or so. I stumbled upon this world completely by accident, and I have just completely embraced it, and now I'm extremely passionate about it. I'm passionate about sex work, passionate about fetish work, and I want you to know, first of all, there is nothing to be ashamed of. You're not a weirdo if you like this stuff. You're not a weirdo if you do this stuff. It is what it is, and don't let anybody tell you that you are something that you're not, or that what you're doing is wrong, because it's not the case. People who like feet pictures are not weirdos, and you are not a hoe bag for doing it, despite what people may tell you. Don't listen to here's the point. Don't ask your grandma or your mom to give you their opinion. They're not going to give you one that you want to hear, and they're wrong. So just follow your heart, okay? And follow that bag. That's the thing. Get your bag, okay? I'm from Minnesota, so I say bag, not bag, or however you say it. So taxes. What do I say that my work is? Do I just straight up say I'm selling feet pictures? What do I say? So first of all, I have a guy who does my taxes. He's been the same guy doing my taxes since I was 16 years old. And I just told him, I said, here's what I do. I make I like photograph and video content for people to purchase. I also make content on YouTube and other platforms such as Patreon. So what would you suggest that I say? Because he knows how to word things a lot better than I do. He has been in the game for a very long time. So I handed it over to him, and I believe he said that I am a video editor or a video content creator, something like that, like an online editor of some sort. He knows the best way to word it, but that is technically what I do. And last year was a little bit different. All of the years that I've done this before have been different because I did not have my own brand necessarily. This was just kind of side work here and there, didn't make a lot of money. This year, coming up, the 2020 season of taxes will be much different. I'm going to have, like, technically a business, an LLC, if you will. And so I am going to have to file taxes a little bit differently. But I am honest when I say what my work is. I don't say I'm a sex worker, even though that's technically what I am. I just say I produce video content for individuals who pay me per individual video. What would you call that, sir? That's what I say. So the next question I have is about write-offs. What can you write off, and what even is a write-off? What does that mean? Fantastic question. When I discovered the world of write-offs, my life was changed forever and ever, and I've saved so much money. Even in the last tax season, I saved thousands of dollars that I got back as a tax write-off. What is a write-off? A write-off is something that you use for your business that you can say, I had to spend this money, it was a business expense, and you kind of essentially get it back. So let's say I have my own business. Right now, I am recording on my phone. I'm uploading with my Wi-Fi. I use a photo editor to make my thumbnail. So that means I pay $10 a month for the photo editor. Right off. I need it to make my business work. The ring light that I'm using, I needed that to make my business work. My phone bill every month, I need it because I need my phone to work. My Wi-Fi, I need my Wi-Fi to upload. If I didn't have Wi-Fi, I wouldn't be able to work. These are business necessities that I can write off at the end of the year that will make that money come back to me, because taxes, when you own your own business, are a bitch. It's really, really hard to keep track of everything yourself, but you just gotta, okay? You just gotta. Save your receipts for everything. Every single online transaction that you use, make sure to write it down somewhere, record it somewhere so that you don't forget about it at the end of the year. Because let's say you're saving all of your physical copies of your receipts. Fantastic. What about the stuff you bought on Amazon? If you totally forget that, it's totally not going to be a tax write-off for you. And that would be such a bummer. So make sure to save all of your receipts, all of your payment history. Next year, I'm going to get a specific business card, a work card, so that all of my work expenses can just be recorded on that one card and save me so much time. Because right now I'm purchasing on, 5 different accounts for the same business. So once I get an actual business account and business card set up, everything will be filed through there. But if you're just starting out, you don't have to do that. Just make sure that your bookkeeping skills are on point, because it will save you a lot of money. And basically what I do is, all of my previous years, I have put all of my receipts in a box and I have sent it to my tax guy and been like, here you go, you're welcome, figure it out. What can I say except you're welcome? And this year was the first year that he was like, actually, we're doing it all online. So he had me fill out a document that said, I just made a Word document, and I had a couple categories. So let's say props that I used in videos, and I recorded how much everything was, itemized the receipt or itemized the list, even though I didn't have to do that. He just wanted the total amounts. But I did, just to make future purposes easier. You're supposed to keep those records for, I believe, 10 years. So if everything is just already laid out for me and I have to go back and get myself out of trouble, it'll already be right there. And so I had a props section, an equipment section, things that I didn't buy specifically for the video, but I used in a video section. I just general self-care things, makeup, to make me look prettier in videos, things like that. You can write off anything that you use for your business. You can write off any services that you may use for your business. So like Wi-Fi, a VPN of some kind, of virtual private network. If you use one of those, you can use so many things as a write-off. There are things that you can't use. I know that certain businesses are tricky when it comes to using gas mileage and things like that, and I don't really know how all of it works specifically, but the best thing that you can do is get a tax guy because they tell you what you can write off and they just give you the entire scoop. I'm not a tax professional. I'm just not. Again, wish I was, but I'm not. So get a tax guy, somebody to do your taxes, not turbotax.com or anything like that. Get an actual person, a professional who knows exactly what to do and what not to do. That way you won't get in trouble trying to do it yourself or half do it yourself or do it online. Just get somebody that you can go see in person. I pay around $250 for somebody to do my taxes, but it is so worth it knowing that they're done right. And that if they're not done right, it's not me who's going to get in trouble for it. It's him. You know what I mean? Do you have to claim this income? Again, not an expert, but from my understanding, if you make more than $500 from anything, you have to record it as income. I'm just going to tell you, even if you don't think that you should, or don't think that you have to, or you don't want to pay taxes because you're like, I don't want to spend money on this money, I want to make money with this money, you know what I mean? Because that's what a couple of people commented, like, but I'm trying to save for a car, but I'm trying to pay my bills, I don't want to save 30% to pay taxes at the end of the year. Well, do you want to go to jail? It's usually not going to be that extreme, but it can be. So just yes, I would say claim this income, pay taxes on it. Just cover yourself from every single angle. I don't want you to get in trouble doing this. And I don't want to get in trouble for telling you you don't have to claim taxes. So just pay your taxes. That's all I'm going to say about that. And it sucks to have to save money as you go to pay them off at the end of the year in April or whatever, whenever tax time is for you. But it's a sacrifice that you have to make. And some months you just simply will not make enough to be able to set any aside, and that's okay. But just don't let it get ahead of you, because things happen, and sometimes you're like, well, I just don't have enough right now, I'll save more next month. And you do that every month, and then tax season comes around and you're screwed. I don't want you to be screwed. I want to help you. So listen to me. Okay, away from the taxes, we are going to talk about significant others. I am a female in a relationship with a male, so I'm going to say him when I talk about your significant other. How do you tell or ask your significant other permission? Here's what I'm going to say. You know your man more than I know your man. And you know how to bring up issues with him better than anybody else does. So what I would say is sit down, have an honest conversation, say, here is what I want to do. I'm not going to be unfaithful. I'm not going to cheat on you. I'm not going to leave you. I am not doing this for any other reason but to make money. Okay? Also, just kind of explain to him the research that you've done, the podcasts that you've listened to, the hours of thought that you've put into it, and how you think that you could make it work for both of you. For me, I was lucky because I was actually the one who was super reserved at first. People were asking me I was doing other types of fetish content, but I was not dabbling in feet. Although I was being asked to by my followers. And I was like, I don't know, man, I'm just not comfortable. And my significant other was the one who was like, just do it. Do it up. Do it big. And don't be embarrassed about it. And I was like, but what if people find out? And I said, what if people find out? And he was just like, if people find out and they judge you for it, what can they say that could hurt you? If you're making money, putting food on the table for your family, paying rent, you're not leaving the home, even though there's nothing wrong with leaving the home if you're a mom who like works outside of the home. Literally nothing wrong with that. But he's just like, how could people get mad at you? How could people judge you? And if they want to judge you, I'll just tell you the truth, you guys. He said, fuck them. He was like, fuck those people. And I was like, but what if they judge you? What if they judge you for having a fiance who does that? And he said, I would tell them that if my feet were prettier, I would do the exact same thing. And I said, okay. But it is a conversation that you have to have with each other. You have to talk about what happens if people find out. What happens if your parents find out? What happens if, depending on what kind of sex work you're doing, what happens if somebody I love sees it? What happens if I make a lot of money? What happens if I don't make any? How much are you willing to support me? Are you willing to support me all the way? Like, what if one day you become famous for selling pics of your feet or pictures of your ass or, making porn? Like, what if you become Lena the plug? Okay, you have to have that conversation where it's like, yeah, sure, you're okay with it if I'm anonymous and no one knows. What if someday they do? Anything can happen. I believe that you can do anything that you put your mind to, and I believe that I can too. And so these are honest conversations that you have to have. And if he's not into it and he's like, no, you can't, then that's a decision that you have to make yourself. I am always about being honest and upfront and open with my partner, and I respect him. So I wouldn't say I would let him tell me what to do. But if he said I couldn't do something, I would do it anyway, but I would tell him, like, you're not going to tell me that I can't do that. I don't want to do anything that would hurt or disrespect my partner, but I would also never lie about it either. I would never tell him, oh no, I'm not doing that, just to save an argument. But that's just me. Again, you know your partner. You guys have to have honest communication and open communication, especially about this kind of stuff, because it's a gray area with, like, I don't know, it can cross some lines if you're not very careful. And so everything that I do, my partner is aware of what I do. Every DM that I send, I don't tell him every DM that I send, but like, he knows the content of the DMs that I send. You know what I mean? And he knows what I do and what I have to do and what I say and what I have to say. And he's all right with it. And every time I ask him permission, he's like, you don't have to ask me permission. Like, you can do whatever you want. And I was like, yeah, but I respect you. I respect you. And so if at any point he changed his mind and he was like, you know what, I'm not cool with this anymore, that would be a discussion that we would have to have. So anonymity. How do you stay anonymous? As you can tell, I am not anonymous. So that's a question I don't know if I can answer extremely well, as I don't have the experience of being anonymous and doing this work anonymously. But I can say, make new accounts for everything. Make a new email. Make a new CashApp. Make a new PayPal. Make all of those things with a fake name. It can be whatever you want. It can be Harry Saltonfuss, Veda Saltonfuss. It can be whatever you want. And it can also be a business name. If you want to just go all the way, get yourself an LLC and have it be like TwinkletoesSixty9 or TwinkletoesSixty9 LLC, then great. Have your PayPal be TwinkletoesSixty9 LLC. Have your everything. Just make it all brand new without any of your personal information. Obviously, like with things like that, you have to add your real banking information and stuff, but it can be more anonymous if you use false names. I know that's a very simple answer, but I did get a lot of questions like, how can you make your Cash App anonymous? Fake name, obviously you have to get the money somehow, so you need a new account. But if you're worried about like getting hacked and things like that, then I would just say change your password frequently and make it absolutely ridiculous every single time. And that way your chances of getting hacked are pretty low. And other things I would just add, I wouldn't give out very many details about your life, where you live. Even if it's fake details, I wouldn't say, my name is Heather from California and I'm 19. Have those details in your back pocket in case it comes up. But I wouldn't give out any information about who you are, where you live, anything like that, even if it is fake, because it's just not needed. And if somebody's like asking for stuff like that, I find it sketchy. So A lot of people ask for tips on how to avoid scammers. I think they just didn't watch far enough into my other video, because I did go through that. My basic tips are, if anybody is asking to be your sugar daddy or sugar mama, block them. It's fake. If anybody is asking you to pay them money, fake. Like if somebody is saying, oh, well, you need to confirm your CashApp with me and I need to make sure that you're not a scam. So you need to send me $5 and that way I know that you're real. So then I'll send you $30. Fake, scam, goodbye. Adios, motherfucker. See you later. Yeah, if anybody's asking for your personal bank information or to send you a check or a gift card, fake, scam, goodbye, okay? You'll get so many scams. I swear to you, for every one person who decides to sell pictures of their feet or any kind of fetish stuff, there are 10 people who have bots that will comment on every single picture that you post instantaneously, trying to scam you out of your money, your hard-earned and well-deserved money. They also have their own business. They've discovered the greatest scam of all time, because a lot of people who go to this kind of work are so desperate for money and so naive, and they don't know what's a scam and what's not. They just post their first picture, they're super anxious about it, they just don't know what to expect, and then, oh my gosh, within 5 seconds, somebody comments on there and says, I will pay you $800 a week. You just need to give me your banking information. And they say, really? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm this lucky on my first try. And they steal all of their money. They steal their information. They steal their social security number. They have created a freaking booming business scamming people. So you just have to be smarter than a scammer and think like a scammer. If somebody says anything that weirds you out or sketches you out, then follow your gut. It's probably a scam. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to take another sipperoonie, and then I'm going to get into why did I stop selling on Instagram. A lot of people asked, well, if you made such good money, then why don't you do it anymore? I do. I just don't do it on Instagram. So the struggle with Instagram is that they have so many community guidelines. They are like YouTube. You can't post feet things without it technically being against community guidelines. Twitter has no guidelines. Twitter is it is meant for just the worst type of content. The nastiest, smuttiest content. And it's just like a garbage heap. So it's great for selling feet pics. Instagram is not. And you can only fly under the radar for so long. I built up about 400 followers on Instagram, made, I don't even know, I think I was up to like 600 a week on Instagram. And then, poof, my account disappeared. Poof. And when I tell you that was frustrating, ooh boy, I was so frustrated. I couldn't believe it. I didn't even get a warning saying like, please take this down. It's against community guidelines. It just said that my account was reported and taken down. And there was nothing I could do about it. So I lost all 400 of those clients. Thankfully, I had ushered some of them over to my Patreon, which was the only other platform I had at the time. But most of them stayed on Instagram and just followed me there, and I lost them. Poof. Disappointing for me and for them, I'm sure. And then I also lost all of those pictures that I posted over there. Thankfully, I had them backed up. But it was just really, it was maddening. I couldn't believe that there was nothing I could do to get the account back. And because of that, I decided, although I was making $600 a month, I was making enough on all of my other platforms to still pay my rent, buy groceries that I was like, you know what, that $600, I don't need it at this point. I don't need it enough to completely make a new account, post all of my pictures again, try to get another like fan base going, try to get more clients, go through all of the scammers. It was not worth my time and effort to completely start over. So instead, I decided to make an OnlyFans. If you want me to get into more about OnlyFans, you just let me know. And I will do that in a future podcast. However, I'm not going to get into it a lot right now. I was like, you know what? OnlyFans is made for sex work. It is made for people like me. It is made for this type of content, and nobody will get me in trouble there. So I'm going to go there. I would rather start from scratch on OnlyFans or, a different type of platform and not have the risk of being deleted than go on Instagram, where I know I could get a following pretty quickly because of the hashtags, right? The use of hashtags over there to get you a following is amazing. You can post the same 30 hashtags on each picture, and then people who follow those hashtags will just find you. OnlyFans isn't like that. OnlyFans, people have to come, they have to have the link for your website. So they have to come from something else, from my Instagram, from my Patreon, from my YouTube. They can't find me just by looking up feet pics, giantess, tiny roleplay. They can't just find me by Googling that. So Instagram is great for building that initial audience. But once you start building that audience there, send them somewhere else. Say, please follow me over here for more content. Follow me over here for better content. Follow me over here for this type of stuff that I can't post over here on Instagram. That kind of thing. Because once they're gone, and once your Instagram does get deleted, which it will eventually, it might take you 2 years, but it will get deleted. You'll lose all of those people unless you usher them somewhere else. So that is why I don't do it on Instagram anymore. And honestly, I'm glad that I don't, because on Instagram, I also had to take public pictures. And that's great and everything. It's good for advertising. It's good for making use out of another custom photo to be able to post it publicly. But it was just hard to find new pictures to post like every day to keep myself relevant, because like I'm not taking 31 feet pictures or giantess pictures a month. I'm just not. But you have to like post every day anyway. So I'm just glad to be done with Instagram, to tell you the truth. And I'm so happy to be on OnlyFans and Patreon. That's all I'm going to say about that. How do you collect money? I have always used PayPal. I use one specific PayPal for all of my business, all of my transactions, and anything to do with my personal brand, I use that PayPal. If somebody for some reason cannot use PayPal, I say I also have a CashApp. Here is my CashApp. If you would like to send me a tipperoonie, feel free. It's $Brooke's Big Life. So feel free to send me a tipperoonie dooney. But those are the only two options that I've ever used, because once people start asking for different accounts, once people start asking for like your banking information, or, oh, can you use Google Pay, or can you, no, I'm not interested. I know the two different options that I have. Most people can make those options work. I think Cash App is only for the United States. So if they're from somewhere else, they can use PayPal. If they say, I don't have a PayPal, I say, I'm sorry, that's not my problem. Those are the only two options that I have. So that way it just keeps it easy for me, keeps all of my money in one place. And I just know that by only having those two accounts, I don't have to get mixed up in anything sketchy or weird. So, yeah. A lot of people don't like PayPal or Cash App for their own reasons, so do your own research. If you find something that works better for you, like if you only want to use Google Pay, great. Only use that. I've just never used it before, so I don't use it now. How do you know what to charge? That's a really good question. I'm still learning what to charge. I heard in a video initially, which I have not found on YouTube. I tried to link it in the description box of my previous video, but I couldn't find it. So I think that it was deleted, or the user deleted it or something like that. But in that video, she said charge no less than $10 per foot per photo. So I don't do a per foot thing. I think I started my Instagram saying $20 per photo of my feet. And then you like give them a deal. So like 3 pictures for $50, something like that. Charge what you believe you deserve, and then don't stray from that price. I'll tell you the truth, when I first started doing custom giantess videos, I would do, what was it? It was like $20 for 15 minutes, or $20 for 15 minutes, or $35 for $5 or for 30 minutes. Sorry, I totally screwed those numbers up, but my point is, I was so undercharging for my work that looking back on it, it makes me so sad, because people would be so quick to be like, oh my gosh, yes, I'll totally buy that. That's a great deal. And then after a good year of doing that, that's when I realized I was just not charging enough, and I was so bummed at all the money I missed out on. I'm glad that all of those people got great deals on content, but my goodness, I was really undercharging. I still think about it and I'm just like, oh my gosh, how did I do that? So now my prices are pretty set in stone, unless they want something that I like. Unless they want something full nude, or not full nude, I don't show my vagina, but But unless they want something like that, or, something that I don't typically do, or something that requires a lot of work or props or things like that, then I'll charge more. But my standard roleplay rates or feat rates are $45 for 2 minutes of video and $75 for 5 minutes of video. And I find that to be fair for me and fair for the viewer as well. I still get some people who are like, wow, that's a really good deal. And I'm like, is it? Because then other people say, okay, I almost just spontaneously combusted at how high that price is. Thank you, but no thank you. I understand both sides, but that is what is fair to me. I'm also extremely busy. I'm a mom, and I literally, I don't have enough hours in the day to get as much done as I want to. So for people who say, I want more than 5 minutes, typically, tell you the truth, I will say no, because I don't have the time to do more than 5 minutes of video. And that's the truth. So unless they want to pay me a considerable amount, I don't do more than 5 minute customs. It's just too much time that I don't have. That's it. I just don't have the time. So come up with a price that's fair to you, that is good for your soul, good for your bank account, good for your conscience, and go from there. What if my feet are ugly? I'm going to tell you this right now. Your feet are probably not ugly. Even if you think they are, even if you are a ballerina, even if you have moles or scars or tattoos, whatever you think makes your foot ugly, your feet are not ugly. And there are 8 billion people on this planet. Somebody out there is going to love your feet and think that they're so, so beautiful and tasty looking and just the best feet that they have ever seen. That's what your feet are. That's what they look like, okay? You might not believe me. You might think it's insane, but maybe that's just because you don't like feet. Think about it. You just might think that feet in general are ugly. Other people do not feel that way. So your feet are probably just fine. Let's say you're missing a nail. Take pictures of your soles. Wrinkled soles, close-up soles, toes spread but from the bottom. great. You can take amazing giantess stomping photos like that. Let's say your feet on the bottom, super dry, calloused, you can't afford a pedicure, just like whatever, something's wrong with the bottom of your feet. Take pictures of the top, your beautiful painted toenails, your arches from the side. Like, there are so many different angles and ways to take a good foot pic and just to flatter them that you can't go wrong. You really can't. And people who love feet, they love feet for what they are. They love them even if they're, well, I mean, I shouldn't say this because some people like really clean, pristine feet. But feet in general, like, they like them if they're square or long or stinky or dirty. People who love feet, all right? It's like if you love boobs or that's a great example. If you're a boob guy or a butt guy, you're like, I don't know how anyone could ever love feet. Exactly how you feel about that ass is how some people feel about feet. That's it, you know? It's hard to believe if you don't have the fetish yourself, but once you realize that people who have kinks or fetishes or fantasies, once you realize that you have the same exact fantasies but about something else, it makes them not seem like total weirdos or like total freakazoids, because they're not. They're just normal people with normal jobs, normal relationships, and they just happen to like something that you don't like. I'm not gay, but I would never be like, ew, gays. No, I just don't like it. They do. That's it. Next thing is a big one. It's a big, big, big one. This is really good, actually. It tastes like pink lady apples and kale and dirt. Yeah. Great. Really good. A lot of people, more than I thought would, asked me about buying a new camera or buying an editing software. What editor do you recommend I buy to edit my pictures? Should I buy a new camera for this? No. Use what you've got, especially if you're just starting out. If you haven't even sold one photo, don't you dare, listen to me, don't you dare just go all out and buy equipment for this and buy a ring light and buy tights and shoes, and don't do that. I don't want you to lose money. I want you to make money. And the fact of the matter is, not everyone who does this business, in fact, not most people, actually make any money. I don't want you to make the mistake of just diving in, getting everything, making it perfect, making your pictures beautiful, making your OnlyFans look so professional, and then not have anyone subscribe. I don't want that for you. And so I'm going to politely suggest not to buy anything new and just to start with what you have. I get the same question in regards to ASMR. Some people are like, I feel like I would be so good at ASMR, but I don't have the money to buy a new camera. Then don't. Don't buy a Blue Yeti. Don't buy a new camera. Take your iPhone, film with it, film with no microphone, or better yet, use your like headphones or whatever as a microphone. That's how almost every ASMR artist that you love, that's how they started their channel. You don't need anything fancy. You just need to be you, and the people will come. And then the last one, a lot of people were like, what is Patreon? Especially like they spelled it super funny too. Patreon is a fan sourcing or crowdsourcing. I don't know if that's actually the right word. It's a platform that your subscribers or fans of your work can use to financially support you as a creator, as an artist, as whatever you are. And in return, you provide them with a little bonus. Let's say you're an artist, you're a painter. People who love your work support you on Patreon, and let's say they pay you $5 a month, and in return, you show them sketches that no one's ever seen, or the process behind how you make a painting, or if they support you $20 a month, you give them a free painting of whatever they want, like, a little tiny canvas painting, or you put them in a drawing to win a Starbucks gift card, or you thank them at the end of your videos, something like that. It's just a way that fans can support the people they love. And that is how I had an ASMR Patreon. I believe I'm going to make that private now, because not a lot of people really went over there. But I have a giantess and feet Patreon that is a great platform, and I believe it's my second biggest source of income. And I have around 100 something patrons over there who financially support me per month, and in return they get giantess videos from me and feet pictures, depending on which tier they're in. So it's just a way to reward your fans, subscribers, whatever they are to you, for supporting you. So let's say you're selling feet pics and you make a Patreon. People will be paying, let's just say $5 a month over there to financially support you, and in return they get 5 feet pictures per month. All right, hear me out. Usually you want your patrons to get a really good deal. So for example, if I charge $45 for a 2-minute custom video, over on my Patreon, they actually get 3 10-minute or more videos, not custom, but still videos, for only $15 a month. So that you might hear that and be like, whoa, sometimes I do too. But the fact that they financially choose to support me every single month is so valuable to me that I want to give them an insane deal. I want to give them something that makes them go like, I can't believe, like, this is a steal, because that'll keep them coming back. It'll make it worth their money and worth their time. It'll help them to justify it in their head, like, okay, this is more money than Netflix. How can I afford this membership? But they'll justify it because they know what kind of a deal they're getting, right? So again, make it a price that's worth it to you. But it's Patreon, Patreon. I will link mine in the description box. It's a great way to add more sources of income for yourself, and to have your fans or subscribers, whatever platform you're using, support you in an additional way. And that's all the questions that I wrote down. Those were the most popular ones. We're already up to about an hour of recording time. If you hear white noise in the background, it's because it is pouring rain. Like, legitimately, it's insane. It keeps like coming and going. It's extremely windy and pouring rain. But I hope that that's okay. I appreciate you watching the very first ever episode of Actually I Can, and I hope that it has answered your questions and encouraged you to start this for yourself, to be motivated enough to start whatever venture you're thinking about doing or starting. If it's opening your own online boutique, if it's starting an Amazon store, if it's making bath bombs and selling them door to door, which I don't recommend because Corona and also murderers, but you know what I'm trying to say. Any business venture, anything you put your mind to, you can do it. You can. If I can, so can you. No matter what anybody tells you. And if somebody finds out and they judge you and they try to make it all like mean and nasty and yuck for you, don't let anybody turn your happiness, your pride, your confidence, your finances, don't let anybody make you feel gross about those. Nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. Remember that. If somebody tries, just say no. No, ma'am. No, sir, not today. Absolutely not. It's something that's it's not innocent, but it's normal. Sex is normal. Fetishes are normal. Fantasies are normal. Kinks, feet, love, lust. It's all so normal. It really is. And it's nothing that you or your fans, your patrons, your OnlyFans, it's nothing that anybody should feel ashamed of. And the fact that people do just goes to show that we have a long way to go in society with acceptance, with not just acceptance of people, but acceptance of ideas that are different from yours and beliefs that are different than yours. So try to be gentle with yourself. Realize that it's a process and that not everyone's going to understand, but that's okay. And good luck. Good luck. I genuinely wish you luck. A lot of people on the TikTok were saying, oh, she's never going to make this video telling us how to sell feet pictures because she doesn't want us to steal her clients. Again, there are 8 billion people in the world. 8 billion people. I'm not concerned with anyone taking anything from me. And I want to lift you up. I want you to succeed. And if you were willing to listen to an hour-long podcast about this, then I know that you're serious. If you ask these questions in the comments, I know that you're serious. I know that you're in need. I know that you're curious. And that's enough for me to say, I, as a human being, as a fellow woman, am going to help you. It's just who I am. It's what I do. And again, if I can help, I will. So let me know if I didn't answer anything that you wanted to hear. If I didn't, I'm so sorry. Let me know what other further questions that you have about this, other topics that you want me to delve into. Please, I'm not opposed to begging. Please go follow my other channel so that you can see the future episodes of this podcast. It would mean the absolute, literal, absolute world to me. Genuinely. So please do that. Consider doing that. It's free. Why not subscribe, right? It's for free, okay? For free. It would mean a lot to me. So, with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful night. And remember that despite what you've heard, actually, I can. And so can you. All right, guys. Bye.